Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Welcome to part one of the basement finale. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, look at my butt. That's delightful. A delightful way to start. Hi guys. This is very exciting. We are in the home stretch. We are in hour one of a 2-hour finale, and I feel like the entire channel has been building up to these moments. Now, what you are looking at here is me working with my amazing Dana K. White certified decluttering at the speed of life decluttering coach. Her name is Amber. She will not be featured very much in this video on screen because Amber is posting her version of this video on her own channel, you guys. So I'm giving you kind of the behind the scenes, my reflection on the whole process after I've had a couple of weeks to think about it. And Amber on her channel is going to go ahead and show the actual Zoom call that we did. So when you see me taking pauses here and looking away from you, that is what I'm looking at. I am talking to Amber throughout this video. I am looking at her. I'm arguing with her, laughing with her, etc., etc., crying later. I have some unexpected tears and emotions over some medical paperwork that I found. So we are just getting into it here. Like I said, I'm going to give you my thoughts now that I've had some time to think about all of this. And now that, spoiler alert, the basement is done. It is completely finished as of the time that I'm recording the voiceover here. So I'm so excited to share this with you. Thank you for coming along on this journey. All right, so let's get into what we are doing here. I decided, as Dana K. White typically encourages, to start with easy stuff, right? Start with the easy stuff, start with the stuff that is either trash or the things that you already kind of know what to do with. Oh, I am going to throw away a pair of glasses here because I have really old glasses and I don't need them anymore. And by the way, I understand when I throw away things like that and people are like, oh my gosh, you can donate them to the Lions Club or blah, blah, blah for children who need glasses or old people who need glasses. Yes, I know that. But for me, as someone pointed out in a comment a few weeks ago, as a rich person, they said, oh, I hate rich people. I could have used that knife set. It's like, okay, well, friend, I don't have your address. I'm sorry. I didn't mail it to you specifically. So as somebody who is just trying my best to start over, right? And just kind of move past my mistakes of the past. I am just throwing a bunch of stuff away for the most part, because if I stopped to carefully choose exactly where to donate every little thing, I would never finish. I would never finish this project. So sometimes I just throw stuff away. All right, I'm going to take all of that upstairs because another Dana K. White philosophy or step or rule or whatever is to take it there now so that you're not dealing with big piles of crap at the end. So I am in this video. Oh, by the way, I did ask Amber, because she is a Dana K. White certified decluttering coach, I did ask her to try and coach me as close to in the style of Dana K. White as possible. I know in the first video that I did with Amber, she and I agreed at the beginning that she would kind of use some of her own words, share her own wisdom, etc., etc. And I'm fine with that. I vibe with that pretty well because, as you know, I don't follow rules in order very well. But I told her for this video to please try and stay as true to Dana's philosophy and method as possible because you all asked for that. So I said, sure, give it a try. Give it the old college try. And I think we did. I think we did a pretty good job. But oh, here's some shoes. My daughter's okay. I prefer shoes for my kid, for my 4-year-old. Well, she's about to be 4. By the time you see this, she might be 4 already. I don't know. Close enough. But I prefer shoes for her that have like a wider toe box. And those, she wanted those shoes because they were like, they had light up lights. So I bought them for her, but I didn't really like them for her. Oh, and oh, we have a mosquito infestation. Or we did. Yeah, my daughter and I were getting eaten alive by mosquitoes the last few weeks, but we finally got it under control. We sprayed outside and put down a boatload of cedar chips, and it's been much improved. Oh, I'm also going to get rid of that. Well, not get rid of it. I'm going to take it outside in the backyard because that's where people will play with it, like children who are coming over for a birthday party soon. So that'll be fun. But we don't need it down here because nobody comes down here to play. I completely forgot. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh well, maybe it'll come back to me later. Who knows? Um, I think I don't know if this is what I was saying. Oh, the shoes. So I threw away the light up shoes, because they had a bunch of mud on them. And I didn't want to clean them, and I didn't really like them to begin with. And my daughter forgot that she had them, so I got rid of them because she has other shoes now. Oh, here we are tackling camping accoutrement. Like, I think both of those are sleeping. No, the trash bag is a sleeping bag. The other one is a inflatable mattress, like a guest mattress. But now we bought, you'll see a little bit later, or you saw in the intro, we have a pull-out sofa bed. And so I wanted to get rid of, there's 2 sleeping bags plus the blow-up mattress. I wanted to get rid of the blow-up mattress completely, like just get rid of it, throw it out, donate it, whatever. But my husband was like, well, I don't know, maybe we should keep it. So I said, there's room in our son's closet, so let's put that up there. So we put the inflatable mattress and the 2 sleeping bags in my son's closet. And that's fine because there was plenty of room. Those are 10, I believe, 10 picture frames that we bought 3 years ago. We bought those picture frames 3 years ago when I had family photos taken in honor of my daughter's 1-year birthday. And we never put those pictures. We did get them printed, but we never put them in the frames and we never put them on the wall. So I asked my husband, I said, husband, his name's Ed. I said, Ed, what are we doing? Actually, no, I didn't say Ed because we never call each other by our first names unless something's wrong. I said, whatever I said, Papa, we call him Papa. I know, you don't care. Anyway, I said, are we going to realistically hang these photo frames? And he said, absolutely we are. And I was like, okay, what would lead you to believe that? Because we haven't done it in the last 3 years. And he said, no, like we really will. And I said, okay. So he did not want me to get rid of the picture frames. He's optimistic. So we kept them. But spoiler alert, I filmed this video like 2+ weeks ago, and maybe 3, and still haven't put the pictures in the frames, but at least we took all that paper off of them, so we're a step closer. Now these bins, there are clothes and jackets that belong to my stepdaughter. I have a stepson who's 14 who lives with us full time. And then I have a stepdaughter who is a full-on adult who lives in an apartment with her husband. And so that bin is hers. That is her stuff. Those are her clothes. And so I put all of that, I wanted to, okay. that bin, that's like a camping mat. That bin I'm going to turn into a camping bin and fishing bin for my son. I wanted to put the camping mat with those things, but then I think I talked through it with Amber and realized that that mat is actually not at all an improvement over sleeping on the hard ground. Like I've laid on it and it is not helpful or squishy at all. So I was like, you know what? I'll just get rid of it. But I am going to use that bin, I believe, for like camping and fishing stuff for my son. Um, and then that is a seat attachment that goes with a scooter for my daughter, but we're never going to use it and we never have used it, so I'm going to throw it away. Anyway, that big gray tub behind me is my stepdaughter's stuff, and so we put it out for her to take to her house. And she did. So that was a win. So that's gone, which is great. But why am I still thinking about it? If you want to see in real time what we were talking about, like I said, check out Amber's channel because I cannot remember what we were discussing here, but I think I was having a hard time making decisions. Oh, I think we were talking about like where to keep my son's camping and fishing stuff, because we were talking about like where would he look for it first? Like where would he look for it first? And because we were saying like, oh, I want to put his stuff in the garage, or my husband actually Ed wanted to put our son's stuff in the garage, his fishing stuff, which is what I'm putting in the bin right now. But I was talking to Amber. I was like, well, where would Amari look for it first? Like if it's his stuff, like where would he look for it first? And he would not look for it in the garage. He would look for it here. So at this stage, this is where I left it. Now, stay tuned or come back next week for part 2 of the basement finale, because by the end of this video, there is still a lot of stuff left in here in bins. But by the end of the next video, like the finale, you guys, there are no more bins stacked up over here. Like, look at how many bins are stacked over here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus the gray one that we did get rid of today, plus this like camping and fishing bin that I'm filling up with all of his like hooks and tackle and blah, 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 fake worms and stuff. So come back for the finale, because it is and then look at all these bins on that shelf too. Guys, the progress is insane. You are not going to want to miss it. But this part of the process, oh, hi Willow. Hello. She always wants to help, you know? She's a helper. She's always interested in what's going on. But anyway, so yes, I took that out to the garage. You are going to see the garage in the second half of this video, because there were a lot of like things that I no longer wanted to keep in the basement. But before I could start like taking stuff out into the garage to store, I had to go through some bins that were already in the garage. So you're going to see that in a little bit. But right now, Amber is helping me figure out where the heck to put this space heater. Where does the space heater belong? That's a great question. I ended up putting it, oh, and here's Amber. I'm showing her the options. Here's the options. So you can see the sofa, the new sofa, pull-out sofa, and Amber was suggesting that I do some zones, different parts of the room that have different purposes. And so she's like, well, you know, so I said like, oh, well, the space heater would be like, if a guest stayed down here, they might need the space heater. And so she's like, great, put the space heater over by where the guest stuff is, which is the pull-out sofa over here. But before I could put the space heater over in that corner, I had to empty the corner We did throw away, there was like a large round black coffee table over there before. We did sell oh no, I donated that. I took it to Goodwill. They were very happy. Um, but anyway, there was a huge table over there. We got rid of that, I think, in the last video, maybe. And then I had all these things that were meant for donation in the corner right before this. Because if you remember, like a week or two ago, I had a video out where I decluttered my daughter's toys. Actually, I guess the last 2 weeks, I was decluttering toys. And so I had all these donations stuck over there because I didn't have time to take them up until now, recently. Those boots were stupid expensive and very impractical, like super heavy duty, like not great. If you need boots, like waterproof boots for your kids, Crocs makes super lightweight, super easy to put on and off rain boots. And then for the winter, you can just put some super warm socks on underneath or put a liner in it. I don't know. But like those other boots were super duper heavy and cumbersome, and my daughter was not interested. That is a baritone, which, if you don't know what a baritone is, it looks like a little mini tuba. My son, I was explaining to Amber that I just wanted it out. And that my husband had said he would help get it out, like he wanted to sell it. But I hate using Facebook Marketplace. And so I didn't want to sell it. So I was like, okay, Amber, like I'm just going to put it in the garage. And if my husband wants to deal with it, then he can deal with it. And she said that sounded like a great plan. So I took it out, and guess what? I did not have faith, but my husband sold that thing in a day. Like by the end of that night that you see me filming, by 8:30 p.m. that same day, it was out of our house. And I think he made back like, I don't know, $50, $100 on it. Because my son, like, there's a band program at the elementary and middle school down the street from us. And my son used to be in the band when he was in elementary school, or the orchestra, or what, I don't know, whatever. And so I guess some other kid probably needed a baritone. So that was that. Now so anyway, but good job to my husband. Like, good job, Ed. I'm trying to figure out here what to do with everything. There's too many things here. I feel like I'm playing Tetris. This I feel like was one of the most frustrating stages of this whole process, because it felt like every time I wanted to take something there now, or take something where I would look for it first, there was other stuff there. And so it was never just like, sure, I want to put it here. Look, there's space. Perfect. Like, no, not one time did it work out like that. Every time it was like, okay, well, I need to put these paper products, like the toilet paper, somewhere so that they don't look awful. And then we thought, oh, how about over here? And then it was like, okay, but over here, there's other random crap that I have to figure out what to do with. So like this nebulizer machine. And so then I had to take the nebulizer machine somewhere that I knew my husband would look for it first if he needed it. Even though I think we have 2 of them and nobody currently has a prescription for a nebulizer treatment. Like, and if somebody did, like if myself or my son or daughter or like whoever might need a nebulizer treatment, like a breathing treatment situation, I think we would probably qualify for a new nebulizer, because that one is like, I don't know, 10 years old maybe. Like, it's been around with my husband and son longer than I have. Okay, like I met him in 2018. Well, I met my husband in 2017, but we've been together since 2018, and I think that nebulizer is older than that. But anyway, I digress. I was grabbing a bunch of stuff to take upstairs to put away, and I did. I took it there now. And now please enjoy watching me try to move this giant stair climbing mess, whatever, elliptical machine all by myself, because I refuse to ask for help. It was just really heavy. Honestly, I want to get rid of it. I want to get rid of that thing so bad. It's not easy to use. It's not good, I don't think. But my husband bought it off Facebook Marketplace a few years ago, and he is insistent that he uses it. Now, I have never witnessed this. I don't know if I believe it, but he says that he uses it. I don't know when, maybe in the middle of the night. I don't know. But he said it had to stay. Okay, here's the garage. So up there is where all of these these bins came from, and my husband took them down for me, which I guess in the end I do appreciate. But at the time, it's so funny. Like, whenever I start doing a project and then we get close to the actual like event, like the party we're having soon, my husband, like, he won't participate. He won't be interested for like weeks and weeks and weeks or whatever. And then all of a sudden, as the event is like a week or two away, he's like, how about this? Oh, you're doing this? How about I add these other 5 things for you to do? And so he graciously took down these bins that had been sitting in the garage for like, I don't know, 5 years. I don't even know. I think we've lived in the house for 6 or 7 years now, 6 years. Anyway, he he took them down, and these bins have been there for a million years since I moved in. And I did not want to go through them. I did not want to go through them. But in the end, I am glad that I did. I am glad that I did. Oh, that's an old swimsuit bottom. These are hangers. But I'm glad I went through them because, okay, let me finish a thought. Come on, Megan, you can do it. So many hangers, my gosh. Because I wanted to take the bins that have been like on the floor and stacked up and just random in the garage. I wanted to get as much in the basement. I wanted to get as many of those items out of the basement so that the basement wouldn't look so cluttered, and put them in these bins that match in the garage. However, in order for there to be room for all of that to happen, I had to come in here and do this. Now, that is a bikini top that needs to go. Goodbye. But the bottoms I could wear because I also have some tankini tops, which I will wear. Now, I am currently on a weight loss extravaganza. I take a GLP-1 medication and I love it so much. It is amazing, life-changing. I've lost 20 pounds since January, and I hope to lose another like 20 to 30 pounds. But in the meantime, I kept these swimsuits from like way back when, I think like 2015 maybe, because I bought them for my honeymoon to my first husband, who is long gone. Like, I divorced him, obviously, because I have my current husband. But those swimsuits are a size 10. And they were even too small for me then in 2015. Like, I was a size 12 even in 2015. I am currently like coming out of a 14 back into a 12 in US women's sizes. But maybe by the end of summer, I'll be in a 10. Who knows? I don't know. It depends. But I kept the bathing suits. Here I am getting, this is a donate, that white basket is going to be donate. And Amber had a really, we're not seeing the good idea yet. But I'll tell it to you now while I'm thinking about it in case I forget later. But she said, yes, here it is, to put the bag in the basket so that when it is time to donate, I can just donate it. Like, I don't have to transfer it to some other container. I was just using the basket because it's easier to just toss stuff in, right, than it is to put stuff in a bag. Yes, I was donating the bikini top because please, like I do not envision myself wearing a full-on bikini anytime soon. Um, okay, so some stuff is going to donate, some stuff is going to garbage. And I know many of you have said towels, blankets, etc., you can donate to an animal shelter. I know I'm a horrible person. Just, I'm not a good person. It's fine. I accept it. Thank you so much. These I think were like journals that I never used. Yeah, journals, baby books, mail. I think in this bin and some of the other bins, there was mail again from like 6 years ago, a million years ago. Uh, so why did I keep it? I don't know. What is this one? I don't know what I'm looking at here. Nope, I still don't know what I'm looking at. Probably need to shred it though. At some point, I decided to make a shred pile, which, by the way, I still have not shredded. And probably I brought it upstairs to shred it, and then that bag is gone now. Like, I'm pretty sure my husband just threw it away. So I guess if you want to steal my identity and know a lot of information about me, you can go to the dump somewhere. I don't know, somewhere in Illinois. So yeah, that's what's happening there. Oh, an old wallet. Oh, an old iPhone. My first iPhone, you guys, with some like old cards and stuff. My very first iPhone that I ever had. I was just going through to make sure there weren't any like old credit cards or anything. So this is where I think I had a similar problem in a recent video where I found my daughter's iPad that is kind of broken, but I'm not 100% sure if it's fully broken yet. Where, like, I mean, I don't know what data is still on these devices. I don't know if I even still have the same Apple account that I started with. Probably not. But, like, well, for the phone, I know, like, my daughter's iPad, yes, I do need to wipe that if possible. Um, but, like, the phone from God knows how many years ago, like, I don't know, almost 20 years ago, 15 years ago, like, what am I going to do with it? But how am I going to destroy it or wipe it or make it impossible for a stealing person, a thief, from stealing my identity? You know what I mean? So I don't, you tell me, guys. Like, I think my favorite idea that a viewer shared with me was, ooh, a hammock. Guys, I actually put that up in my backyard and it is delightful. I love hammocks. Yeah, I put it in the camping bin, but it is currently out and being used in my backyard. So cool. Um, but anyway, technology stuff and getting rid of it. One of my favorite suggestions from a viewer was um, to smash it. Just smash it. Like, take out your feminine rage on it. So, I mean, I guess that is an option. But again, I don't know exactly where I put that phone. So my husband probably threw it away. So I guess, again, any thieves who want my identity, it's in a dump somewhere, probably. What else? That's just a lot of paperwork, a lot of journals, a lot of paperwork, a lot of mail. I think I find at some point you'll see, like, I find an envelope that my parents sent me that had my first teeth, like the first teeth that I lost when I was like 7, I don't know, however old you are when you lose teeth, um, from 1993 or 19, no. Would I still have been losing teeth at 10 years old? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really matter what year it was, but I had teeth in an envelope and I just went ahead and threw them away finally because the problem with your baby teeth is that that's weird. That's creepy. And why? I don't need them. That's bizarre. So I don't even know if I'll keep my daughter's teeth when she starts losing them. Like my son, I I was around when he started losing teeth. I don't know where his baby teeth are. It's weird. Why are people weird? Why do we keep these things? I don't know. Um, oh, an old Coach purse that my dad gave me because he gave it to my mom and she didn't want it. There's another pair of glasses I just threw away. Sorry, Lions Club. Um, Now this purse, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. I should probably sell it, maybe. I don't know. I have a plan later. Not now. I don't have the energy for it now. Oh, look at that stack of mail. That is all mail from 6 years ago that I just never dealt with. Just never dealt with it. Goodbye. Um, so I think that what happened is when I moved, I just put a bunch of shit in bins. Like didn't think about it, didn't want to deal with it in the moment, and now here we are like 6 years into the future. Megan is dealing with it instead of past Megan. So you're welcome, I guess. Oh, but what I was gonna say earlier about selling things, the Coach purse, etc., etc. Not now because I'm not in the mood. As mentioned earlier, I do not like posting things on Facebook Marketplace or eBay or wherever, Poshmark, Mercari, whatever. But I will have, hopefully, at the end of the year, like maybe this fall/winter, I will have a boatload of stuff. If I keep, as mentioned earlier, if I keep losing weight, I will need to buy new winter uniform, right? Like this airy sweatshirt that I'm wearing is an extra large, and that it is already too large for me. Like it's already too big. And so I'm planning to sell my collection of these airy sweatshirts, my uniform from last winter. So I'm going to sell that or those. And then I bought recently a bunch of new clothes from Loft and Anthropologie because I'm thinner than I was, but I'm not at my final destination, hopefully. I don't think. And so I'm also going to sell those items, like those really nice items. So when I get that project underway, when I start hyper focusing on that, I shall include the Coach purse. Please remind me if I forget. There are a few of you. Somebody a few videos ago, I asked someone to remind me, like in a comment. Somebody had a good idea and I wasn't ready for it, but I'm like, that is a good idea, but I'm not going to do it now. And I asked the person to please remind me in 6 months. And I was joking. I hope you know I'm joking, right? Like you're not my secretaries. Like I whatever. But somebody commented under my response, like to the original person, like, girl, you don't have to remind her in 6 months. Like that's not your job. Like she should remember on her own. Like, okay, thank you, friend. It's okay. Like, I'm not really asking, but if any of you happen to remember, like there are some friends who like to help me remember things. If you have time, if your brain functions better than mine, which most of your brains probably do, remind me when I mention that I'm going to sell a bunch of stuff. Be like, hey Megan, remember that Coach purse? You could probably sell that now too as well. So, oh, good catch. Good catch, Meg. So anyway, or not, or don't remind me. It's fine. It's okay. But anyway, so I'm just going through so much paperwork. Why is paper clutter the worst? Please discuss in the comments below. Why? Why is paper clutter so freaking difficult to get rid of? I'll tell you why it's hard for me, I think. I haven't really thought too much about it, but just off the top of my head, I believe that the things that kind of trip me up with paper clutter are, one, the irrational belief that my identity will get stolen. Like somebody's going to dig through my garbage and steal my identity. So that's number one, fear. And so then I'm like, well, I don't want to deal with it right now, and I don't want to shred it right now because it's not convenient. So I better just put it aside, right? Or I better hang on to it. The other reason that mail and paper clutter is so difficult for me is because I am financially an idiot, right? I do not understand investments. I do not understand retirement accounts. I don't understand any of it. And so most of the mail that I save is that kind of stuff. And it doesn't help that I've had like 4,000 different jobs since I finished my master's degree in 2012 or whatever, 2010. And so I think 2010, whenever I finished my master's degree, I've had 4 bajillion jobs. And so I have all of these random like Roth IRAs and 403b 501, whatever. I don't know what they all are, but I have like a couple of $1,000s in a few different accounts just like floating around in the ether that I have no idea like where they are, what they are, how much it is. And so I save any mail that I get that says retirement account because I just don't know what to do with it. I literally do not know. Oh, look at that empty bin. I was so proud of myself. Good job, Megan. By the way, by the end of this video, all of those bins will be completely transformed, like empty and dealt with. So stay tuned. But I'm going to go take these things somewhere now, I believe. Oh, I'm putting the paperwork in a shred pile. So anyway, because I'm an idiot when it comes to investments and finances, that is another reason that I save mail, because I feel like I should save it in case I need to do something with it one day. I don't know. And then why else do I keep mail? I think those are my top 2 reasons. And then the last reason is like fantasy, like, oh, I'm going to do something meaningful with this. Like, I get a ton of flyers for continuing education classes I could take. And every time I see a good one, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get certified in like trauma therapy. Sure. Or like, oh, that sounds like a good yoga retreat for therapists in Colorado. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna attend any of those, but it's my fantasy. Oh, those were handprints. Okay. Amber, my coach, had a great insight. Again, check out her video where you can hear her actually give me the great insight. But my recollection of it was, what I threw away in the garbage a moment ago was, and yes, I did just throw away an extension cord. I know I could have donated it. I'm sorry. Oh, but those came in handy. Thank you cards, a bunch of blank thank you cards that I gave to my son's teachers and stuff. Okay, these handprints. I made salt dough like 3 years ago when my daughter was a toddler. And it was her handprints. It was my handprint and her handprints. And I didn't put a date on it. I have no idea exactly what age she was. I didn't think about it. And so I was like, oh, as a mom, I should keep it because it's my kid's handprint and she's only little once. But then I was like, but for what? Like when? Why? I know she was little. Like what am I doing with this handprint? Again, I'm not a very sentimental person. So I was like, Amber, I want to throw it away. I want to throw it away. And Amber said, that's fine. Go ahead. Throw it away. And I was like, what? Oh, another pair of glasses. Sorry, Lions Club. Again, I think that's pair number 3 for this video alone. Why am I putting it in a... I was arguing with Amber and myself. Like, just goodbye. Anyway, so shoot, I lost. Oh, so throwing away the handprints. Thank you so much for reminding me. Sorry. So she's like, go ahead, throw it away. It's fine. She's like, think about it like it was an activity, it was an experience that you both got meaning out of, and now it's over, right? Like every time I do some finger painting with my kid, or every time I cook something with my kid, that's an experience. It doesn't mean I have to keep the end product for all eternity, right? So that really helped me to think about why it is okay to get rid of your children's art, your children's handprints, your children's footprints, your children's teeth. Like, you had a moment with the child, you had an experience with the child, but that doesn't mean that you must be obligated to keep the result of that experience or the memory, like the physical representation of that experience, for the rest of your life, right? So that was very freeing. So if you're somebody who feels super guilty about getting rid of stuff, I'm giving you permission. Just if you feel bad, just be like, oh, Millennial Meg said it's fine. So you're welcome for that. What else? What else we got going on, guys? We're in the home stretch. We have like, I don't know, 16, 17 minutes left. I'm very excited. Oh boy. Guys, we're going to cry. We're going to cry in a minute. Unexpectedly, I was not expecting to be hit by a wave of emotions. So you can see that there was like a little ultrasound picture in there. So when I was pregnant, yep, here it comes. When I was pregnant, story time with Megan, health story time, birth trauma, pregnancy trauma, trigger warning. And everything turned out okay, but this was very triggering for me. So when I was pregnant, I was 37, almost 38 years old, or I guess maybe I was 38 by the time I gave birth. And so I was geriatric, right? I was labeled high risk for my age, and also because I had pre-existing hypertension, okay, high blood pressure. And I don't know how much of this Amber is going to show or whatever, but I will talk about it here because it's my crying and I'm allowed to exploit it for my own personal gain. So, and I have no shame. So when I was pregnant, I was at high risk for preeclampsia. I was also just at high risk for a bunch of stuff. Fortunately, while I was pregnant, I did not get preeclampsia. I also didn't get gestational diabetes, like all the things that they thought I was high risk for, I did not get, which is amazing. But what I was looking at in that folder was my blood pressure records, because I had to record my blood pressure twice a day and then bring it in for my weekly appointments with the maternal fetal medicine doctors so that they could make sure that I wasn't going too high, okay, which I didn't. But the reason it was so traumatic is because after I gave birth, well, first of all, I wanted a C-section and my doctor told me no, I had to try first because it was my first birth, which I'm still pissed about because I knew I was going to end up in a C-section anyway, which I did, but they made me push for 3 freaking hours with a wonky epidural, and it was awful. Awful, awful, awful. And it also injured my daughter a little bit because she was stuck in my pelvis, which is why I pushed for 3 hours without her coming out. And so her head, she got like a little, again, she's fine, but she got like a little bleed under her scalp from like banging it into my pelvic bone for 3 hours. So she had a little bit of jaundice after she was born, after she came out via C-section, which I knew she would anyway. Freaking doctors, don't listen to people. And so anyway, she ended up having jaundice and had to like be in this little like light thing and looked like a little bug, and it was adorable but scary a little bit. But which that all was fine. But after the trauma of not wanting to try for a vaginal birth, but being told I had to, and then having the C-section anyway, um, because my daughter, it actually, I guess, was a good thing in the end, because she had to get treated for the jaundice and stay extra long in the hospital. I was still in the hospital recovering when I started to feel like I was going to die. Like I absolutely felt like I was going to just stop existing. I don't really know how else to put it. Um, and so I started vomiting frequently. I started feeling like I was not real. Like I just started totally detaching from reality. And I thought I was going to just die. Like I didn't even think I was going to pass out. I just thought I was going to stop existing. And so I told the doctor who would come around and round on me, a different doctor, not my OB, but the hospital OB. And I was like, hey, friend, like remember how I was being monitored for preeclampsia my whole pregnancy? Pretty sure it's happening. Like, pretty sure something is horrifically wrong right now. And she's like, oh, no, you're doing great. Like, you're up and walking after your C-section. You've been able to go to the bathroom. Like, you're doing great. And I was like, actually, I'm going to die. Like, please help me. And she's like, no, I think you're fine. Like, I see in your chart that you had anxiety. Like, you have a history of anxiety. So it's probably that. I was like, madam, I have had so many panic attacks in my life. I can promise you that this is not that. Like, this is not anxiety. This is death. And she was like, probably COVID. Like, maybe you have COVID. And I was like, okay, well then please just test me for COVID if that's what you think. But I've had COVID as well, and it is not that. And so she also, I don't think, thought I really had COVID. And so she did not order a COVID test. And I said, can you test my urine to see if I have postpartum preeclampsia? And she's like, oh, well, that wouldn't show up now, like because of all the hormones and the birth and all this whatever. And I was like, okay, like, is there a blood test you could do? And she's like, well, I looked at your lab work from the other day and it looks great. And I was like, ma'am, do you understand how much has happened in the last 4 days from the last time you drew my labs until now? Like, so much has happened. I've had massive amounts of anesthesia pushed through my body. I have had trauma to my body. I've had major abdominal surgery. I had a baby come out of me. So maybe you could run the labs again just to kind of double check, just to see, just checky wacky there. And she was like, no, nope. So I had to beg my nurse for the rest of her shift to please convince this stupid doctor that I needed new lab work. And so finally, at the end of the day, after I thought I was going to die, and I was trying to still pump and breastfeed, which was a nightmare that I never care to repeat. But anyway, so I ended up finally getting my labs drawn. And wouldn't you know, that as soon as the lab results came back, there was a team of nurses rushing into my room with a magnesium drip and an IV bag full of blood pressure medication because my liver was shutting down, and I was, in fact, not doing well, right? Like, I wasn't exactly dying, but I was certainly not living my best life. And so, so I ended up on a magnesium drip for, I think, 24 hours to prevent me from having a massive seizure because my liver enzymes were through the roof. And I also was getting IV blood pressure medication because my blood pressure was super high. And I ended up being in the hospital for a full week after I gave birth. So I'd already been in the hospital for 4 days. And then I had to stay in the hospital another 7 days. Yeah. And I felt the entire time completely miserable and no doctor. And also I was throwing up every 2 hours the entire time. that I was there until like the last day. And so, yeah, so that's my birth trauma story. And why I will never have more children. Well, one of the reasons why I'll never have more children. That it's like a main reason, like a primary reason, because I almost died the first time, and my body cannot handle it. So, yeah, so that was great. That was fun. Sorry if you just want decluttering chat. Sorry about that. Hope you skipped it and um, use the timestamps if you weren't interested in that. But that's my story, and that's why I was crying about finding a notebook or a folder here. So this box my parents mailed to me a few years ago because they were decluttering their house when they moved out of their house. And so this was like my baby stuff, like those dresses from 1983, 1984. That's those dresses. And then I also was like all of my memory books and like photo albums from when I was like a tween. That was from a summer I spent in Boston, like this one that I'm looking at. Yeah, I spent a summer in Boston after my freshman year of college doing a dance program at Boston Conservatory, where other medical trauma, I sprained my ankle horrifically. That was awful. Yeah, that was terrible. I don't recommend it. And it wasn't even stupid. It was a stupid medical thing. Like, I, it wasn't even during a dance class. Like, I was messing around doing a jump in one of the dorms, like just messing around with some friends. And then my last week of the program, I couldn't dance. So that was sad. But it was a really fun summer. I highly recommend it. Boston is a super cool city. I would love to go back someday, but probably not anytime soon. All right, I'm taking all of that stuff upstairs. So here my idea was to take all of the stuff from this bin and put it somewhere else. Like put it in one of the black bins so that I could store. Like this I thought was like my memory box. So I was trying to make a bin of just my memory stuff, but then I also found some memory stuff that belonged in my son's memory bin. So we had to create a separate memory bin for him. And that was just a random binder that once upon a time I had a fantasy that I was gonna like organize all my important paperwork, like birth certificates and marriage certificates and all that stuff. Oh, this is an old bag that I used to take to dance class with me. Those ballet shoes are a size too small, but also I don't go to ballet class anymore. And I also have like 3 other pair of ballet shoes that are the right size if I ever take up ballet again. So, there you go. And there's 400 knitting needles that I don't know, guys. Again, fantasy self. Like once upon a time, did I knit? Yes. I am a competent knitter. But is this the stage of my life when I am realistically going to knit anything? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But what I ended up doing was keeping them, of course, and just transferring the clutter to my office, like my counseling office, because I do have a couple of clients with ADHD, like that they will play with like fidget toys during our sessions. And so I think I could knit in a session with them because they also are fiddling with things. Like it wouldn't be offensive. I know some people would be like wildly offended if their therapist pulled out like their knitting project like in the middle of the session or at the beginning, because it would indicate to them like, oh, she doesn't care, she's not listening, she's bored, blah blah blah. But the reality is, for my brain, like whenever I go to a conference or something or an all-day training, I bring my knitting projects. Like that's when I have the time and energy to knit because it helps me focus. It does help me focus. And I obviously pick something that's like super like mindless to do, right? Like just straight across, just knitting, or like knit one row, purl another row, right? Like I'm not doing any like I'm not going to knit a pair of socks at a conference, right? Like that would require some actual concentration. Or I'm not going to do like, you know, like a cable knit blanket or something with a complicated pattern or something, like a Fair Isle sweater, you know. Um anyway, so I do still identify as a knitter, but not presently, you know? But I hung on to them. All right, what else is going on? Okay, I have my whole bin done, and then we're just gonna get through these other couple bins super duper quick. We have like 4 minutes left, guys. This is incredible. And then, like I said earlier, stay tuned for part 2 of the finale, like the finale, because the basement in the next video does get completely completed. And Amber was such an amazing help during this phase. I was kind of torn during this part. Oh, and she was really into labels. I would not have labeled anything if it wasn't for Amber. So thank you, Amber, for reminding me that I need to label things. Otherwise, I won't know where the hell anything is or what it is. So thank you, Amber. That was one huge valuable thing about having her this day. The other super valuable thing, I was torn between tackling these bins with her. Look at all that progress. I cleared out all of the bins. But I was torn between like tackling these with her and then actually finishing the basement with her. But I felt like these things were going to be more emotionally challenging, which it obviously turns out they were. And so I'm so glad that I had her support, and I'm so glad that I had her there, because I think without Amber, without her like wisdom, without her kindness, without her just, again, just support, her emotional intelligence, like knowing the right things to say, I think I might have gotten really tripped up with some of the more sentimental stuff. And I would, you know, I would have probably kept the baby teeth and like envelopes with my dad's handwriting on them, you know, even though my dad is still very much like alive and well. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I really appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and take all of these things in the car right now to donate. And spoiler alert, they actually have all already been donated. Everything that you saw that was supposed to be donated, boom, it's gone. It's already at the Goodwill. Who knows? Some of it may have already been sold to other people. So super excited about that. And then obviously everything that I had put in the garbage bins is in the landfill by now. So thank you guys for watching. I love you. And I'm going to see you next week in the finale. Mwah. See you next time, guys.